So I'm curious. I feel like we kind of maybe know, fathers that, aren't as involved as maybe they possibly should be, right? But, I mean, not to make excuses or anything, but I feel like it's kind of a tough rub because it's almost like a matter of perspective.
Okay.
Of like being able to see someone else's perspective and just know what they're going through, which probably comes down to good communication. But, like for example, the father character in this movie, I imagine from his perspective, he felt like, well, I work hard all day.
He's doing enough. Yeah.
I'm supporting the family. I work all day. I bring home the bacon.
Paying the bills.
I got to go travel and do this like crappy mundane work. I don't even know what it is he does.
Good point. But
and then from his perspective, it's like, well, yeah. So of course it's fair, right, that she does the kid stuff. Yeah. And I'm not privy to how hard that is. So to me, that probably. So maybe to him, he's like, oh, what? You got to change some diapers and make some pancakes. And so that's that. I feel like there can be disconnects between parents who they don't know their partner's experience. They don't know what it's like at work. Right. They don't know what it's like at home taking care of the kids. And everybody kind of always gives themselves more of a benefit of the doubt than their partner. And it can lead to a situation where there's like some imbalance taking place.
Yeah, I was going to say like maybe there's definitely a possibility of just the neglect and being selfish, but there's also, I think, a possibility of just not realizing like how much someone's going through, or how much time somebody's putting into something. Because and if you're not talking either, then
turns into months, years, and then she breaks down, and then at the end he apologized, said it's my fault, I'm so sorry, and he wasn't wrong actually. It was kind of not technically, he didn't drive her to New York, whatever, but she was. The doctor said she was sleep deprived. She was kind of like psychosis. I mean, right? She was. Because she was doing everything, and by everything I mean raising the family. Because why are you going to work for?
It's true, but I mean, to play somewhat of a devil's advocate, could you make the same kind of case against her in that does she ever ask him about what his days are like, about what stresses he deals with, to support their family? Could you have made a different movie where he's like hitting some breaking point at the office?
Didn't look like she had
and
time.
He's creating an imaginary friend to get through like a crazy stressful career or whatever.
I mean, how many times did you see him resting in the movie though? A lot, right?
True that. I mean,
she didn't rest once, so I think it was like she might not have had a lot of time to that. But you're right. It wasn't. The communication was poor. She should have been asking him for sure. But I felt like.
I mean, my ultimate point is just good communication on both ends. I feel like it's
would have solved it. Yeah, you're right.
It's always good to just have a strong awareness of like the experience of your partner.
Because the relationship's kind of on the back burner at that point, right? With 3 kids, like you're not having a relationship at that point. You're just 2 humans in a room trying to raise these kids and not mess them up a lot. Like she said, I don't want them to grow up like I did with divorced parents. And so they were just trying to make them like wholesome kids, and it's like. You got to be together though. It's got to be a unit, and that's why raising kids is so hard.
Yeah,
got to be a unit.
Yeah. I mean, as 3 guys, none of us have kids, right?
Yeah, I'm single and no kids, so it's like easy for me to say this, but I've seen some messed up kids as a teacher, and I've seen what happens when 2 parents are on different pages, and or not at all, or absent, So it's like
But again, I think that's why a movie like this is good, and even specifically for people like us who can't personally sympathize with that experience, and it allows us a window into that plight that we otherwise wouldn't have, and it does in a way that doesn't sugarcoat it, doesn't gloss over the realities of it. And I think movies like that are important, especially ones that are well written. As a non sequitur, I'm going to point out the thing I saw in the movie which I thought was great writing, before I forget, where she talked about no, I don't want to have a night nurse, because didn't you see that movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, where the night nurse tries to kill the mom and she survives and ends up walking with a cane in the end? And then, of course, they totally have Charlize Theron walking with a cane at the end after a car
Totally missed that. It's such a good catch, man. Very smart catch.
I thought that was pretty awesome. And a testament to, like, these guys are, like, trying to, do some good writing.
Yeah, definitely. Well thought out.
And speaking of the writing, to talk on, too, what I was thinking about, how the end kind of saved it for me, and this is the reason why.
Oh, I'm glad you brought it up.
Like I really enjoyed, again, the fact how unapologetic they were with the reality of being a parent, and really trying to like just expose the hardship that comes with that, and some of maybe the doubt and uncertainty and sadness and that postpartum depression that is a very real thing. And then all of a sudden they inject this like impossible character, who's like super positive and like completely emotionally
the sister-in-law
supportive.
Yeah.
No, the night nurse.
Oh, the night nurse.
The night nurse. They inject this night nurse who's completely unrealistic. So basically, they started the movie in a very like gritty, realistic way, and then turned a corner into a very like unrealistic way. You know, it's like, come on, no one's going to get a night nurse like that. I mean, I don't know much about the profession, but I imagine people that do that work, they're probably not like all super. I mean, it's probably crappy work.
Upbeat, like kind of hippie.
Yeah, like, I mean, they're working at night. They probably work a second job during the day. They probably, for the most part, hate it. And it's just a job for them. So the likelihood that you get some night nurse that's the perfect bestie, you know, that seemed unrealistic. And I was kind of pissed that they like went from the realism to like this kind of fantasy.
Oh, okay.
But we completely saved it with the fact that she wasn't real.
We missed the
clue.
She
was a fantasy, and I love that.
We missed the clue.
It saved the movie for me.
There's a clue. I just caught it. In the hot tub, she said, the girl said, I'm dating like multiple people, right? And then Charlize said, that used to be me when I was younger.
Yes.
So we totally missed that.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, there's all these little allusions to the fact that,
I didn't catch that till right now.
You know, I mean, all that stuff like, I need some bourbon. That's my favorite drink.
It's my favorite drink. There's all these clues.
You know, I think even the story about her having a fight with her roommate was probably an allusion to like that fallout she had with that roommate she met in the coffee shop.
That's right. That was it. Good catch, dude.
Yeah. I think
that's what they were. They were roommates.
Yeah, they were roommates. They probably had a fallout. She probably had to like
how have you
ditch
been?
her.
She said she's the 3 kids, so they hadn't seen each other for a while.
Yeah, they probably had a falling out. Means they hadn't talked.
Oh, bro, good catch.
And she had kind of learned from that experience too, and was giving herself advice retroactively, right?
Yes.
Like we'll forget. Like when she was young, she probably tried to excuse hurting her friend by saying, "Oh, we get over things." But then after the fact, after maturing and growing up, realized no, actually, like hurting people can really stay. And yeah, so I mean, it was like Fight Club on a deeper level.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like a new character that she created; it was actually herself, just from the past.
Wouldn't that be cool if we could do that? Hang out with our younger selves. Like that would be such a dream. God, man.
That's like one of my number one fantasies is to go back in time and like have a conversation with your younger self,
or like your dad or something. Yeah, I totally.
Like, what would you tell yourself?
You could do it. You could do it right now if you want.
Record a video? What do you mean? How?
Just in your mind.
That's in your head.
I would tell myself that
if you could only tell yourself one thing, one bit of advice, what would be the big one?
Do what you love to do, because in the end, it's not going to matter how much money you make. Do what you love to do.
Awesome. You don't think your younger self knew that?
No, I was trying to grind all the time because I saw all my friends grinding. I saw my dad struggle with money, and in the end, it doesn't matter how much you make. If you die doing what you love, it's all fucking worth it.
Dude,
that's me. That's all.
That's a solid one.
Maybe because I'm learning that shit right now.
Yeah, right. So you write some big Dr. Seuss kid.
I'm out.
Become rich
Peace.
and famous.
I'm out. That's it. What
can't get Mondo to come on our show anymore.
Bro, you need more money for me to hang out. No, what about you? What do you think?
Oh man, if I could tell myself one thing, what would it be? God, probably. I mean, as corny and hokey as it sounds, is to just be yourself.
Totally.
To not be influenced and guided by what people think. I think there was a time, time in my youth where like I was so concerned with like, you know, how I came off to people and, you know, wanting to please people. And when I kind of finally grew past that a bit, you know, found myself in a much happier place. So if I could speed that process along,
young Mike was trying to be something cooler than he needed to be.
Dude, I was trying to be cool, and I wasn't.
Yeah, I get it.
And it was just a train wreck.
Yeah.
I probably don't have an answer right now. I think I'm
wait till you're an older self.
In the middle of like figuring that out.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I agree with that for sure.
But it's like, not something you came up with. I get it.
Yeah, it's something that takes some searching. Maybe you don't even find. Yeah, but there are some things that I think are for sure. Like I completely agree with what you said. I think that's one of the most important things.
Yeah,
more than like anything. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels good, right? At least you wake up and say, "I'm doing what I want today." So yeah, I think after she met, I think she changed. I think we didn't see the. It's like if this movie continued, how do you think it would have been? I think so. They're making lunch together again. Like that was something they did. They seemed happier, right?
Are you trying to write Tully too?
I'm trying to write Tully too right now. Back to Tully too. Yeah, if Tully.
It has a ring to it.
I think if Tully,
she's back with a vengeance.
Yeah,
well, hey, and definitely feel free to throw some comments in the comment section about things you tell yourself. You know, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, we'd be curious if anybody has some good insights on that.
You know, I thought it was... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say real quick, do you think it would be fascinating if they had a script, the whole story, the script, and they they sent it out to like 3 or 4 whatever different directors at the same time and let them make that movie.
You'd be totally.
And then at the you watch them all when they're all finished and comparing them.
Oh, that'd be so interesting.
That'd be a trip,
I would love that. Yeah.
I think the M. Night Shyamalan version would be that whole movie was like that autistic kid sitting in a classroom.
Yeah, and then he wasn't
making up that whole reality.
Yeah.
They're like, Michael, wake up. What?
You know what?
Or they'd call him Tully. Tully, wake up. And it's like the little boy. And he's in a straitjacket in a insane asylum.
Yeah. And he'd have a cameo in it, too.
Yeah, you gotta show him in there. I thought it was kind of, I don't know if you guys went there, but I'm somewhat of a pervert sometimes. Like, as a younger man watching...
quite the thing to admit on camera.
As a younger man watching Charlize films, you obviously want to see, like, her body a lot. And then you see it a lot in this film. And then as a man, you're kind of cringing, too, because it's, like, not the woman you imagine, right? And so for me, it was, like, kind of, like, waking me up a little, like, wait, like, this is a woman. You get used to it. Like, this is who it is. So if you don't want to see this... You shouldn't be able to get to see the other woman too. So I was kind of going through that in my head, like
real beauty.
Most movies I would have been like begging for like a sex scene, and in this one my mind wasn't going there because she was like a mom and like a tired mom. So it was an interesting like breakthrough for me internally, like to have that thought. That was like kind of woke me up, like stop being so damn sexist, bro. Can't she be a hot ass mom too? She was.
Just rent Atomic Blonde.
Oh yeah, okay,
that'll fulfill all your male gaze.
Yeah, so
typical male gaze. Right back thoroughly. But like I said, it's just incredible how she throws herself into these roles and just transforms from head to toe.
You think she wins something for this? An award?
I think this is award
I thought
performance.
She could, and of course the Oscars is always wrong, so I don't know, but I think I would give her a definite nomination for Best Actress, for sure. She held the fucking movie, and it was a tough movie.
Yeah, I could see her winning some awards, like going to The Big Show, The Big Dance.
And then Davis,
possible.
Mackenzie Davis has to get a nod for Best Supporting Actress. I think she has to be in that conversation. I think so. She was great, man.
Yes, she was good.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah. But the thing is, they complimented each other, too. Wasn't all your favorite scenes just them two kind of hanging out?
That's true.
Yeah, they had great chemistry.
Yeah, great chemistry.
I wanted to, unless you had another comment.
Let's see it. See your notes.
May I talk now?
Please, bro.
Thank you. Depressing. Was it as depressing as you thought? Because I kept hearing about that.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I thought it was a little... I didn't think it was as depressing.
No, the answer is no.
Yeah.
No, it could have been more. Which I thought she was going to die in the water.
I did too.
And then I would have said yes.
Yeah, right.
But no, I think it was just realistic as fuck.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Realistic.
I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate, like, realism in movies and stuff. But I could see why, like, the general populace would find it depressing, because we are so used to these, like, kind of like fanciful sugar-coated depictions of things and stuff. And
I don't mind
so they're like, oh, what? You
like
know,
Juno, it makes sense.
She has 3 kids. She doesn't have a 6-pack. This is so depressing.
Yeah, I watched Charlize, so she thought
this
she
is
was
real
gonna be
life,
hot.
bitch.
Or when she fell and she ran, like that was real shit too. She tried to be like better than that little runner.
Definitely had those
moments.
The
milk was coming out of her.
That's why I don't do treadmills, because if I ever get next to someone in shape, I have like some like sick internal like competition with them, and end up staring up at the ceiling, coming out of blackness.
No, that's why I was bringing it up, because I did feel like in the reviews, at least, and even the public reviews, some of them I was reading on
you were doing the research, huh?
Yeah, I was looking through a couple of them, and then but it was like, oh, well, don't watch this movie if you're suicidal.
What was the rating? 82%?
I don't remember.
It's always 82%.
Don't watch the
Every
movie
movie
if
is
you're
82%.
suicidal.
But people say shit like that, like, oh, it's just so depressing, you can't watch it. But, it makes me wonder, like, why can't we just want to stay away from that, like that reality.
Movies can't. Yeah, good point, man. What it reminded me of was that movie this summer too, Lady Bird. Not like the just like, I don't know, I guess maybe the woman feel of it, but like just kind of like, it was realistic, like the motherhood and all that stuff. But that was also another well done film. Was Lady Bird. That was a great movie. Kind of reminded me of that. So that was, you could say, a little depressing, but real as fuck too.
Yeah. Now, if a movie's just punishing the whole time, and you're just like, fuck, there's nothing good.
We were hoping the whole time.
Oh God.
Yes, we were hoping the whole time that something good was going to happen, and it did.
The Revenant.
God, the one with Leo.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
You got to be able to pull something good out of it. you know.
Yeah, and I think it was. Yeah, we got a happy ending.
There was something.
Well, and one thing I kind of always have to maintain perspective on is I would say we definitely watch more movies than the average person.
True.
So I think a lot of people probably only go see movies every once in a while.
Yeah.
So maybe, they really use movies as a tool to like escape and entertain
and
in like a positive way. So
good point.
Maybe if like, the one time I'm going to go to a movie for 6 months, like
it's
makes me think about life.
I don't want to see.
That's not what they're really going.
That's understandable.
Into a river. Yeah, that's true.
Like,
definitely.
I want to see Jennifer Lawrence shoot an arrow and save the day or something.
I don't want to see Charlize breastfeed.
I don't want to see her kid tell her body's fucked up.
Yeah, it's so sad. What's wrong with your body, mommy?
Dude, I love that moment because I do have nieces and nephews, man, and that just embodies it perfectly, man. Kids are like the most unfiltered creature. Representation of a creature possible. They will say anything and everything. I had my niece just tell me the other day, my car smells like a sweaty old man. And I was just like...
Now that you mentioned it, dude. I wasn't going to say anything. Good thing you opened that door.
And I was like, well, that's what I am, so it makes sense.
That's who I am, so...
Yeah, and your painting's ugly.
Yeah, take that.
Do you guys like twists?
Love a twist.
You do.
I didn't think this would be a twisty movie. That's why I loved it.
Do you like it in general?
Yeah. I mean, not every movie can be a twist.
I mean, it depends. Yeah,
it depends on the twist, right?
If it's like a twist for a twist's sake,
yeah,
versus like if it really, just adds to,
adds
to the story, to the tone.
That's such a good point because there's movies that just twist for fun.
Oh, for sure.
This movie was twist and purposeful.
So,
right?
He was a bad guy the whole time. It's like, dude. That added nothing.
This is such a better twist than Sixth
But
Sense.
this is obviously, it's like there's a difference between like adding a twist in at the end, which you can tell when movies do that, versus like building the movie around the twist.
Yes.
Which, like we've been talking about, this is what this does. There's all these kind of allusions to it.
Yeah.
It's like the story very much revolves around
because it's part of her
this
character.
Woman who, goes so crazy and kind of has such an identity crisis. She needs to save herself, with her imaginary friend of her younger self.
When we walked out, I wasn't into it. Not the movie in general, but the twist part. And then as we've been talking about it, it's starting to I think make sense more to me. Or I'm like,
I get
I feel better about it. Yeah,
like you think potentially it would have hit you better if Tully was real and she really had the relationship with this like awesome
that's a good question.
Fantasy
I don't know
night nurse
who
parted ways
who just did would that have been a better movie for you?
I don't know. I don't know. It would have been. I don't know actually.
I like that it was a twist, but I wonder if she just left and never came back, it wouldn't have been the same movie, obviously.
That was a great scene. I thought that was probably
my
very powerfully
scene.
acted.
That and the hot tub scene.
Just like Charlize just getting hit like with a load of bricks with this with Tully telling her she's leaving and stuff, and just how that
now I have to be
slammed
alone.
her. It slammed her, and how much she'd grown attached and needed her and
needed her old self, and so she was shedding her old skin. And so to run away from it for me was like I felt like she was kind of growing up a little.
Yeah, maybe that was good symbolism. So she's actually running away from her younger self. That's great.
But then she went back to her old apartment, and it totally changed. And so it was like she was trying to chase what wasn't there. Right.
Right. Yeah, and I think it was kind of like a lesson. It was like a reminder that like things change.
Nothing's the same.
You can't live in the past and like just because things change, that doesn't mean.
And that's what
doesn't mean that that's bad. And that was kind of the whole speech Tully gave her.
Yeah, the speech.
The thing that you detest and find deplorable in the way of your life is actually like
waking up every day, raising your kids. Like that's a beautiful thing. Don't run away from that. Don't run away from normalcy, because normalcy can mean 3 kids and a beautiful life and a dope ass kitchen they have.
I thought it was more. It wasn't just about like parenthood. It was about being a kid too.
Man.
Kind of
bringing that kid
or being
into
okay that you're growing up or something.
Don't lose who you are as an adult. Like you can still be kiddish or childish, right?
Yeah.
Don't lose yourself just because you grow up.
I think that's important too. There's many a study that show like people who like literally play, like adults who actually take time to play, have like much more emotional health.
Totally, man.
Of
course they do.
This idea we have in society of like needing to be like mature and
adulting.
Stoic and serious all the time, like that's actually detrimental to our psychological.
It's time to grow up. No, bitch, I like who I am now. Like, don't tell me to grow up.
Yeah, well, that goes.
What does grow up even mean?
Yeah,
right? It's like what if I never crack jokes, but I like fuck someone over at work for a promotion? That's being grown up.
Yeah, what's grown up?
I mean, like, I don't think I like your definition of growing up.
Well, that goes along with how we're not supposed to, we feel like we're supposed to like hit these marks and stuff like that, and not you're supposed to do this once you get to a certain age, or
these rules that we live by.
So, or you're supposed to give your whole life to somebody else or your kid,
or your kids,
and not spend any time, doing something.
Yeah, lose yourself for your kids, and that's not. I think that was the message, right? We just hit the thesis right there. Don't lose who you are.
Don't lose who you are, folks.
As
man,
you grow up.
Is that a good note to end it on?
I think so. Yeah, I think we killed it. We knocked it out of the park.
That one. We figured out life.
We're
people.
smart as fuck in this.
You're welcome,
man. We're smart out here.
So, not the most important part of it, but it's mandatory. We gotta rate this thing.
You gotta rate it.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with our guest.
Yes, and let you know on this show we don't do out of 10s. We don't do stars.
No,
it's very important.
We do pumps of butter.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, 1 to 10. You can do decimals. Don't do pumps of butter like this, like Josh did.
Just as an enjoyable factor, or just whatever I want it to be.
Anything you want.
Okay, I would give this.
Yeah, anything you want. However you want to do it, rate it. Scale of 1 to 10. Pumps of butter. How many pumps of butter?
I'm gonna give it. This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna give it. There's not a thing I didn't like about it. I'm gonna give it 9.5 pumps.
9.5 pumps.
Yeah, I loved the theme. I thought it was important for our time and generation.
I recommend it.
I thought it woke me the fuck up a little bit about what women go through and all this, and how we should see our women and support them. So 9.5 because of how I felt afterward.
Awesome.
10, I don't like perfection. I think perfection is not possible. So 9.5, which is pretty damn close.
That's pretty good.
That's a great rating.
That's high. You gotta beat that.
Yeah, Diablo Cody,
exciting.
thanks you.
Devil Cody.
Yeah, Devil Cody. No, I'm with you, man. I really enjoyed this, and again, I love how it kind of set me up for like disappointment a little bit, and then just brought me right back up with how they they did the twist ending, and so I appreciate anyone that does that, and in doing so, I reward with I'll say 9 pumps of butter myself.
Good time.
Yeah, I would recommend this to anybody, and again, I do.
That's
I think it's important to check it out, and I think there's a lot of great themes, a lot of important themes to be watched in this one, and I look forward to the next project by this crew.
Tully 2, baby.
Tully 2. Danny D.
I'm gonna say 8.3, but I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Just felt like
it's a gut rating.
I really enjoyed it. I think maybe I'll have to see it again to really get a
more accurate.
To be more accurate. Yeah. So, but that's where I'm at right now.
Cool.
Is that okay?
Yeah, man.
No.
It's your rating.
Is that all right?
It's your popcorn, man.
You jerks. They're already writing comments about me.
8.3,
Bunch of buttholes.
They're like, you should go back in time and tell your younger self not to wear that shirt. That's what you should say. No, I'm joking.
Man, they're so terrible.
They are. But we love you. Click subscribe. Click like.
I don't.
Please.
You.
Disregard him. Click that notification bell.
Fuck off.
And,
no, we're not supposed to say that.
Yes, but join us for the next one. Next one we are doing solo, people. So you can look forward to that. Yeah, we're doing the big Han Solo side project thingy.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be watched and reviewed.
That's Star Wars.
For our
yeah.
This guy's good. Yeah.